welcome to another edition of Appeal to Judge Veal. Today we have typical family problems. Siblings fighting over property, fighting over life. I mean, why can't we just get along? I don't understand. But let's see what the issue is with the two sisters that came in today. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, Judge.
And you want to tell us your name?
Yes, my name is Sharon. I'm the younger sister.
And your name? You are?
Audra.
Audra, okay. And you are older than
Yes, I'm
her.
the oldest
Okay.
sister.
And you're the one that called in, am I correct?
Yes, you're
Okay.
correct, Judge.
And you want to explain and tell us why you called?
Well, the reason I called is, our parents unexpectedly died in an accident 5 years ago.
Okay.
And they left behind a series of properties. They have 12 flat buildings, they have Airbnbs, they have condominiums, they just have so many properties. They're in Chicago, they're in Michigan, they're in Florida, they're just all over. And, it's really nice that they left those properties for us, but there's just so much responsibility to manage, to run, to hire people, to fly down and check on things. And I think that we should just sell them, make a good profit and then split the proceeds. And then if we want to reinvest in something that we're interested in, then we can do that.
Is it just the two of you?
Yes.
Okay. And you're talking about something that we're interested in, so you're not all that interested
I'm
in
in
the
real
property?
estate, and I know the markets are up and they're down, and it could be very stressful, especially when you have so many properties, and times might be good where they're making money, and then times are bad when they're not making money, and it's just a financial strain sometimes, and just a lot of stress.
Okay. So your sister, from the paperwork that I received from you, indicated that your sister was against you selling everything.
She
doesn't
is
want to-
very against me selling it.
Let's hear why. Audra, did your sister basically tell the truth?
No, Your Honor. Let me tell you. Ever since we were young, our parents always talked about building generational wealth, having something to pass down the line to our kids, to their kids. Right now, I don't understand where Sharon's mind is. She was so excited, years ago about us running this business, and now all of a sudden she wants to sell. Now, I'm thinking it's because she's married to a real estate guy, and they do pretty well, but the finances are coming in every month like they should. She's getting her share, I'm getting mine. Of course, there's a little wear and tear on some of the properties, but we have the money to fix everything and keep going. So I don't know what this business is about selling, because the market isn't good right now. And she's thinking because, I'm not in real estate, I don't know anything. But I have friends in real estate. Okay. And I do ask them, hey, how's the market? Can you tell me some things that's going on with the market? Because my sister is trying to sell our businesses. And even they agree that, if your parents have built this wealth for over 30 years, why would your sister now want to come in and try to sell everything? I just don't understand it. I think our parents would be very, very distraught about this.
Because they accumulated all this property over years. Your
Yes.
parents did them, and they
Yes.
sacrificed so that you're saying that she wanted it to be passed down.
Of course, and it's unfortunate that, over 5 years ago that they passed away in an accident without a will and trust. But the thing is that it's been running smoothly for 5 years. We haven't had any problems. She's getting her share, and to sell it just doesn't make sense to me.
How many children do you have? Do you have any?
I have 5 children.
Okay. And how many children does your sister have?
I have two.
You
I
have
have two.
two.
I have
Okay.
two, Your Honor.
So it would pass down to a generation of 7. Approximately
Exactly.
7.
What my
yeah.
parents would have wanted.
So what seems to be the big problem if you're just getting the checks and you are being notified if there is an issue with any of the properties? What seems to be the issue? Is it just too overwhelming, or what?
I think it's a combination of being overwhelming. The checks don't always come as frequently as my sisters say they do. Things don't always run perfectly smoothly. I mean, I think my sister has only been running these properties for just a few years, and in the past she has never stuck to anything long term. So I'm just afraid that, right now it's fresh, it's new, yes, I'm doing great, it's wonderful, but, I don't think she's going to be able to keep it up. And I just think, yes, generational wealth, and I was excited when I was young, but when I started having my own life and my own responsibilities, here's an extra responsibility to be thinking about all the time. And you can still, we stand to make a lot of money. The markets are very good. They're, they were down several years ago, but they're back up and they're strong. It's a strong seller's market. And we stand to make millions of dollars. And, to split that and invest in something else, maybe she wants to keep properties. I don't know, I might want to travel or something else, or my kids go to college or something else. I just don't think our parents, if they really wanted us to keep this in the family, they would have had a will, and they would have written and specified, and they didn't do that.
I think that we have a caller in, so let's hear what the caller has to say, or any comment. You can put the mic.
Hello?
Caller, are you there?
Yes, Judge Bill.
Caller?
Wow, I finally got through. How are you, Judge Bill?
Oh, he must have hung up.
No?
Caller?
I'm here. Yes, I'm here, Judge Bill.
I can't hear the caller. Did you hear the caller?
Judge Bill?
Oh, yes, I hear you. Okay. Hi, how are you?
Excellent, Judge. To let you know that I enjoy your show. I watch it all the time. And it's just a shame that two sisters are on your show fighting over property. I think you should go with the one, I believe her name is Sharon, that says generational wealth, to keep the properties opposed to just selling them. What they're going to waste the property on, they probably obtain more value. So that's just my opinion, Judge.
Okay, I think that so you're more in favor of what Audra has to say, am I correct? That's the one that was talking about the generational wealth?
Yes, the generational wealth. Yes,
okay.
yes.
Okay, that's a comment from one. Okay. The problem is that if you want to keep it and half of it really belongs to your sister, then there's an issue there. I have a couple of suggestions. I don't know if they'll work or not. But how do you feel about hiring a management company that would take care of all of it? And typically they charge 10-15%. And then what's left over, then the two of you split, and therefore you wouldn't have to be bothered with it. How do you feel about
Your
that?
Honor, I'm sorry, and I think that's a great idea, but for the past 5 years, I've been handling it. It hasn't been a burden on me, and everything has been going smoothly, despite what my sister has said. I just think if she really wants us to sell it, she should just let me buy her out, and me and myself and my kids can go on and run it like my parents would have wanted.
How do you feel about being bought out? Getting a market analysis of all of them and letting her buy you out?
I think that might be something. Because I feel really badly because for the past 5 years we have just been bickering and fighting, and it's just been, we were close and we just have gotten so much tension and so much drama. Every time we have a family get together, we're arguing about our parents' property, and we're not even, talking about the memories that we had and things like that. We're just arguing, and I guess I just want the arguing and the stress and all the drama just to, stop. And that's my main reason. I'm thinking selling would stop the drama, but I don't know. I'm willing to, consider that possible.
I did think about that. That was one of the things I was thinking about. But also what I want you to think about is if she buys you out, and come to an agreement as to the cost and what you want, and then down the road, your children want to say, well, Mom, what do we have?
Just what my parents would have wanted.
It seems as though Aunt Audra, all her children have all this property, and we don't have any property. We have some money, but we don't have any property.
Well, they can use the money that, Judge, I'm sorry to interrupt. They can use the money, if I did, if she did buy me out, the money that I make, I would invest or, put into a trust for my children. And if they got to the age where they wanted to buy property, they could. They would have, that money would be growing. We would invest it and make sure it's growing. So right now they're young, but 10 years or 15 years or whatever, and they decide they wanted to buy property, they'd be able to buy property.
But as the money grows, the cost of the property is going to grow too.
Well, that's true.
So,
Judge.
if they had this property that stayed in the family and was
Right.
kept up over the years and years and years, they would have something, whereas like they would have to start over to buy property.
Yes.
And it's going to be high. I mean, I don't know how
Well,
high, but
that's
it'll be
true,
high.
Judge. But would they be able to buy back, reinvest back into the family property? Or once I'm, bought out, that's it? They have no chance of, possibly buying back into the family business if they wanted to. I just don't want to put what, I think or what my sister thinks or what my parents think should be the lives for our children. I want them to decide that this is what they want to do.
Okay. I think that you had a good idea, and
Thank you.
I think that's probably the only way this case is going to be resolved, is if you take all the property, get a market analysis, how much it's worth, and then you put forth an offer. And if you can't buy it all in a lump sum, would it be feasible, or would you be willing for her to make payments? Or would you want to keep even one piece of property and you work it out? How would you want to do that?
I mean, that's a thought too, just to maybe downsize some of it, maybe, I don't know. I would think about it. But I think you've helped, at least for me, you've helped me get to the point of like considering, because we never got to that point. We were just like arguing. My idea is better, her idea is better, and we just could not see eye to eye, so.
And I don't think your parents would want you to do that for
No.
all of the things that they've accumulated for the two of you, that if you don't want it, I don't think that they will be angry that you don't want it. I mean, lives change as we get older, but I don't think they want you to give it away. I don't
Right.
think they would want you to sell it to strangers. I think that they would want it to stay in the family in some type of
Exactly
way.
my point.
So my
Judge.
recommendation for these sisters is to price out all of the property, and then for Audra to give her sister what she thinks is a fair price, and then they would make some type of payment arrangements. How do you feel about that?
That's fine with me. I just wanted to follow my parents' dreams. And even if 5 years down the line, after I buy her out, if she comes up broke, I'll still help her. It's okay. She'll see one day.
When you
But
say
thank
she
you,
would
Judge.
come up broke, does she not manage money properly, or are there some issues with management?
No, I'm not saying that, Judge. I'm just saying these properties bring in over 1.5 million. I can a year that is. I can easily buy her out, but I mean, things happen. She talks about how the market is up and down. She works a job, her husband works a job. Anything can happen. I would hate to see her broke. But the way that our money has been coming in from these properties, she would have no problem being taken care of for the rest of her life, her children and her grandchildren.
And she thinks about you in that way too.
She does, so let me think about this, okay? I'll think about it, but
Okay.
yeah, I'll think about it.
Okay, so at least we've resolved that. At least they'll think about it and try to work it out, and they really don't need me anymore. These are not two sisters that are, from the way you talk to each other, you aren't bickering and screaming and yelling at each other, and I think that they get along, and I think that you'll be able to do that. So that's another edition of Appeal to Judge Veal.
Thank you, Judge Veal. I'm just happy that the judge was able to help us come to some resolve. I think she's helping me to keep my parents' dream alive as to what they would have wanted for our family. It's unfortunate that, they passed away from an accident, Those things happen, and they didn't have a will and trust. But in the long run, I'm just glad it turned out as it did. And I think my sister will see, eventually she'll get to see. And this was the best thing.
Thank you, Judge. I think Judge Veal her solution was very good. I think it really is going to help me think about, the possibility of not necessarily selling everything, but having my sister buy me out. And I never really thought of that as a possibility. So I'm really happy that the judge had that solution for us. I think, family is very important. I don't want all this infighting between my sister and I to cause more stress and more strife.